da. Goddamn.
Turn up the dial, unfiltered opinions, that's our style. Crack our headphones and give us a listen. The Let's Talk Podcast. CHAZ. The Let's Talk Podcast. CHAZ. Podcast.
Probably. How long have I been in your announcements though? Holy crap. I feel like I've been there for a minute now. Yours. I do this from time to time. I'm in like people's things and oh.
Welcome to the Let's Talk Podcast, where we talk all about the digital wrestling hit. You already know we're here to talk what we show.
That's true.
We may not be experts in the game, but we're giving our advice all the same. Like the Three Stooges, we'll bring the fun. Talking strong wrestling, second to none.
And I wouldn't even do it. Like, it's not worth it. Because it's your Discord. Oh, that's true. That makes sense. Oh no. Ah, Kyle's on his phone now. It's Radio Kyle. '50s Radio Kyle. Hey, what's up, Primetime? How you doing? Very good question. Just the right place. Oh wow, we actually have this. Cool. Sweet, post that. Why not? It'll be annoying. Anywhere else we need to post this to be annoying? No, it's really good. We've annoyed everybody enough. If the beat I thought I did that. I did not. Okay, prime time, right on. Yep. I'm gonna get yelled at by one of them. I posted both in one, or not posting. My bad. There's a lot of places to share now, folks, so I do apologize if I share it in your... I mean, I can't. Nah, fuck up. I wouldn't be me if I didn't do that. I'll wait for Skype to load now. I'll post it there. Hello. Oh, hold on. Oh, yeah. And... podcast. No more Let's Talk Coffee Shop podcast long. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Let's Talk Coffee Shop podcast. Oh, well, it worked for both of us, actually, but yeah. So actually, it's my fault. No, I blame myself. I was hungover. So anyway, I was hungover and I needed to make it to the gym because I missed a workout last week because I went to a concert. Yes, that's right. I actually went to a concert. It was a hell of a lot of fun too. No, I went to the gym because I went to a concert on Thursday night when we normally go to the gym. So it's just one of those things. Wait, hold on. God damn it, you're Caspers right now. They're Caspers! God damn it. The fuck? How do I fix this? Why isn't it picking you up? Ah, man, I love it. I was about to ask Beat if he was taking the voices and talking to the voices in his head again. God bless you, Gav. Filters. Voices in my head, huh? Let's see.
Him, they understand, they talk to him.
And that's the first thing it picked up. Oh, singing, they talk to him.
And WWE's about to sue us to oblivion.
And
See,
now
the
you
voice-
need to cover your ears, folks.
The voices that Beetle hear is drunk Beetle be like, pick up the bottle, release me.
No, that's not what I
Release me
hear.
into the wild.
No, that's not what I hear.
Which, by the way, folks, for future episodes, we have a ton of stuff. We have a ton of stuff going on. We have a ton of stuff that we have planned. The next episode will be a watch along,
Should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward
and
to it.
it'll be on the same time. We also have possible tier lists as ideas for future episodes coming up.
And also, there was another idea that I had, but I'll discuss that with the guys after the stream.
Exactly. So, but yes, this episode is on a special time. More often than not, if you want the podcast, it is normally on Sundays.
Yep.
But today is on a special night.
Feed me beer.
God damn it.
Feed me beer.
Oh, man.
Why does the voice in his head sound like Ryback?
No.
That's what I was thinking.
No.
That is not a good person to have a voice in your head sound like.
Screw you, Gav. Screw you. I can't even do it right. Anyway, we have a guest with us today. I'd like to welcome Chaz.
Oh yeah, we might as well introduce the guest.
I'd like to welcome Chaz to the booth. If you guys have tuned into the GM mode streams that we normally do on Friday nights, you've probably heard him a few times. He has stepped in before as Kyle's alternate and has turned into a staple on the show. Just having him around is actually very helpful for all three of the GMs because he'll throw in his advice every once in a while and say, "Hey, why don't you do this instead? I think that'll help you out." And he will be joining
and he clearly
us.
has played this year's GM mode a lot more than all three of us.
Yep. And he
Yes.
will be joining our GMs in season 3 when we get that up and running. So, with further ado, I'd like to welcome CHAZ Atkin to the booth. Welcome to the booth, CHAZ.
It is me. Hello. Yes, hello.
Hello. So, you are a call creator, just like all of us, and this is the Let's Talk Call Shop podcast. So,
I think that has been established.
well, there.
I thought this was a Wendy's.
It was a Wendy's. Oh, well. Would you like a Frosty with your fries?
Nah, I'll just take my Baconator.
Damn, no Frosty fries. Damn. Okay. Well,
Beetle, Mr. Genius, Baconators are not sold at the restaurant that he said.
Wendy's. Hey, sir, I will have you know that Baconators are actually a Wendy's item. So, ha.
Well, yes, they are. I actually thought he said someone else.
Ha!
It's been a long day.
Yay! I was right finally. Anyway. Let me compose myself for a second.
One thing correct out of the many fuck ups.
Out of the 2 million fuck ups he did,
I'll still take my trophy for that one. I was right. Anyway.
Yeah, as they say, a broken clock is right twice a day.
Anyways,
Let's get to the interview here. So, you got a bunch of characters. Scroll through them all real quick. And we'll get right back to that one. So, go.
Also, fair warning, if I disappear, just know I probably got a call from me mom.
That is fair. Alright, so let's start with this this first very scary looking fellow here with the beard. Tell us a little bit about this guy.
Well, to point out the very clear obvious, he was basically my Viking call based off of Eric and Ivar. If I remember correctly, I think I named him Thorvid. Yeah, it was Thorvid. And fun fact, he was another call I used during my PvP days, and I actually won a title as him once.
Okay. Okay. So you did some PvP days. That is a different side of call as well, right? Player versus player, playing against other people. So was it like a call league, or was it something different?
How PvP was set up, because my first iteration going into PvP was on 2K15 at my dad's house because he had it on the PS4, which is where a lot of people went to.
Okay.
Of course, as you can clearly tell from that picture, that is not 2K15.
No, that looks more like 2K19.
That is 2K19, where I first made, Dorvid appeared in 2 games. I made him in 2 separate games, 2K19 and 2K20. I couldn't find the 2K20 screenshot.
Okay.
But 2K15 is when I first kind of stepped in to the COD community. Of course, I'll get more into that when we get to the main man himself, the one that's probably going to be last on your list here. But But yeah, no. So the PvP was
Yeah, for first game 2K15. I am so sorry.
yeah. But yeah, no. 2K15. How basically you would find like groups. I can't necessarily remember since it's been so long since I've actually seen a PS4 dashboard of how PvP groups were made on that.
Okay.
It was kind of like a small thing, and it didn't really last long. I would say because I got into it near the end of the 2K15 cycle. Really,
Okay. I mean that's fair. I mean, for me, 15 was like 15 drove me to Skyrim. So
Nova King.
yep, 15 was like
2K
I could play 2K.
2K15.
I could play 2K15 or I could pick up Skyrim. Ooh.
I will. I
2K
will say the one fault for
Environment.
2K15 I have is that it introduced me to the YouTube channel Gore and Perkins and their universe mode.
That would be a positive. Yep.
That is a definite positive.
Those guys have an amazing YouTube channel.
2K15 almost drove me to retirement.
Oh God! I'll tell.
I picked up 2K15 on accident.
Kyle, what year did you pick? What game was the current game when you bought 15?
17. I was an idiot and thought the game didn't matter. It did. It did matter.
Yo.
Oh, you poor summer child.
Alright. So let's go to our next. Oh wait, wrong way. Sorry. Troll. Ha! Troll the troll. There we go.
Well, since you were on the PvP side of CAW, I'm assuming you have probably seen the biggest CAW fed in that side, which is spam.
I did, yes, because how it's kind of a funny thing how I got introduced to fam, which ties into it all ties in together because 2K15 pointed me to the direction of Gore and Perkins, which then they did. I noticed one of their videos one time. They were like they posted like this promo video, and it was hyping up like a FAM survival. I'm like, oh wait, they're gonna be a part of this? I gotta watch this when it comes out, and I remember when I first did watch it, I was at a buddy's house, and it honestly kind of blew me away with the creativity of people's cause and the matches that I saw, the storylines going into it. I'm like, I really like this.
Okay.
But 2K15 was the only instance where I got into call on the PlayStation side, but then I'll go ahead and say like I did not do anything call related 2K16 wise. I still made certain calls that I will point out who I made on 2K16 when we get there, but I did nothing like I didn't do any PvP or anything like that because that was when I was in the transitional period of mainly being on Xbox at that point.
Okay. Odds falls out of his chair hearing that. What? Xbox? What?
No, that wasn't me. I don't know who you were freaking hearing.
I don't know. It was just good timing, Lynn.
Clearly.
I have to have a little bit of fun every once in a while. Anyway.
You try.
Mm-hmm. So, is this another one of your PvP characters? Or
Is it
Guy in the Hood?
Guy in the Hood? Okay, so this gentleman right here, he is who I've told the story to, like to Kyle, Rage, and some other friends of ours. He is the fourth protege of my main call. I called him Castro. He he was basically the first time I kind of tried to dip my toes into trying to make a heel character.
Okay.
Like just a full on heel. Like there was like no chance for me like somehow in the future to turn him like a baby face or like just middle of the road tweener. No, I wanted to try to full on make him just like a heel. And I believe with this game you see right here that one is either 2K17 or 2K18 if I remember correctly.
It looks more like 2K18 to me.
Yeah, it looks like it might be 18. So, what are some of the ways, or what were some of the things that you did with this guy to make him more heelish and just solidify him as a heel?
Well, I will say I never really got to use him that much because I was mainly focused on using other calls. But when I did get to use him, I did like try it in like the PvP ways. If you're in a group chat, you try to cut your own promos that way. But also in the way I played him during the matches, kind of do like underhanded means, kind of more like aggressive type moves to overpower the opponent, kind of like that.
Okay.
But
Oh, that's fair.
and I believe I did make him on 2K20. If not, the last game I made him on was 2K19.
Okay. Now, the guy with the bandana and the blue jacket.
That is the second ever protege of my main call from. I think I had him out of Brooklyn, New York, and his name was Matthew Ramirez.
Okay.
I honestly suspect you to say like Matthew Wheeler or something. Like, well, Brooklyn, right?
No, if I ever brought him back, I would definitely use that just to troll rage. But
God
no,
damn.
He and the next one you no doubt show that he was part of like kind of a tag team. I want to make it was at that point where it's like I was like at the point where I was like one of the fans of like sometimes of WWE's like kind of mismatched tag teams that would get over.
I mean, they totally don't look like they're mismatched at all. Like, not one bit.
Well, it's like, but there's two singles guys you would not think would actually really work together as a tag team. As I mean,
I was being
Okay.
sarcastic.
Also,
yes.
I hate to cut in real quick. Scorpion asked a good question for you, Chaz.
what's that?
Are your characters more grounded or outlandish?
Grounded, or I would say I kept the majority of them grounded because really with how his story basically goes, with Matthew, I didn't make him after. No, actually, that's a lie. I did make him on 2K22 because I just did it for fun and I used him on like the new kind of My Rise they had. And that was the only. I couldn't find the screenshot. I guess I deleted it, but I just kept him grounded. And after that, I'd be like, well, I don't really feel like making him again either. So how I basically just have his story end, which is more kind of grounded in reality. He just, and you know, is how some wrestlers kind of just like fall out of love for the business.
Yeah.
That's kind of how his story ends. He just fell out of love to really do it. He shows up time to time at a certain academy that Kyle knows very well because a certain someone in a certain company always likes to mention it. He always likes to show up there. He gives pointers and all that, but like his now like new job, I believe, if I remember correctly, I think I had him becoming like a radio DJ.
Okay. So he becomes a radio DJ now, and he's like the one who does all the music for your shows and promotes it on the radio, essentially.
Yeah. So it's, in a sense, if I like has started a company of my own, I would basically use him. Be like, hey, he's part of the production team. He works with the music and all that good stuff.
Okay. That's fair. That's more than fair. Now, his tag team partner, this scorpion-looking fellow.
Yeah, this gentleman right here. I will say he was kind of like my Ricochet inspired type of call because he was he had like he was his backstory how I made him. He's from New Orleans.
Okay.
Okay.
New Orleans, Louisiana.
Now, is that
And
screenshot from 20 or from 22?
that was also from 20.
Okay.
I can't recall if I did make him in 22 or not.
It looks like 20.
It does.
Yes, but it's most likely that is 20, and he was the high flyer of the tag team with Matthew. His name was Nick Richardson, and basically how he was able to kind of do like the fly around moves. Like in New Orleans, he knows like how to do like parkour tricks and all that.
Okay. This guy actually, he looks really cool. He kind of reminds me of, I don't know if you guys ever played WCW NWO Revenge, but he looks like that one ninja character they put in the game, Han Zolman, who was based on like a New Japan guy, I think.
Oh, and one thing, he holds the honor of being and he has the title of being the first protege of my main call.
Okay. Apparently, also, from what Scorpion says, he reminds him of a Noob Saibot.
Kind of with the color scheme, I wouldn't be surprised since that is more like Noob Saibot style. Because I will say, since he was kind of the first other call I made besides my main, I wasn't very creative with the colors.
Okay.
But you just start somewhere. You kind of improve on that. I would say, he was like a good building block.
Oh, yeah. Wait, wrong button. There we go.
Stop clicking the wrong button over there.
But it was just...
But the button needed to be pressed. Hit the button.
Yeah, press the button. Alright. The lady in the suit.
Are we sure we're not dealing with Drunk Beetle?
No, we're not.
I have a feeling I know who you're about to talk about with this character, but I'll listen.
Oh, yes.
Oh, is this the mother of the one that rides the tank?
I present to all of you the matriarch and the leader of the Kurosaki Saibatsu, the mother to Yuki and Mizuna Kurosaki, Hikaru Kurosaki.
I'm just gonna run away right now. Go hide. She
No,
scares me
Beetle, don't worry. You don't have anything to fear.
today.
Yet.
Today. Just be warned. Just be warned if you start seeing some shady guys around you now.
Oh, lovely.
Shady guys with machine guns.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Yes. This is.
Oh, but they look like nice fellows.
Oh, crap. Sorry.
Hikaru's first appearance. Is not the first time this happens. You'll see it with the next one, but. I first made her on 2K20, but then I remade her on 2K19. Then I made her. I did bring her back in 22, 23, and now just recently on 24. Her backstory is kind of very simple. She was originally. She does have a wrestling background. She wrestled in the Japan circuit because that's her home country. Now I will say this kind of her kind of backstory kind of goes into kind of outlandish, but still kind of grounded in a way. kind of a good mixture, I would say.
Okay.
Okay.
But her family basically arranges her to marry into a yakuza with its current boss. Now, I have yet to make him. I've had thoughts about possibly bringing him in. I just haven't really pulled the trigger on that yet. But she gets basically arranged marriage to him, and which causes her to leave wrestling because then she becomes pregnant with her two future daughters, Yuki and Mizuna. But how she becomes the new head of that yakuza is a certain main call of mine during his tenure in Japan. Basically becomes her champion to challenge the current yakuza boss for his position of power. He beats him. That her now ex-husband disappears. She becomes in charge of that yakuza, changes it up, and reforms it into the current Kurosaki Zaibatsu that I've been really starting to run lately as like with Yuki and Mizuna. They've become like a tag team, and they've already won a set of tag titles, which you'll see when we get to one of them. Yeah, I know which one we'll get to, but
Okay.
Okay, and then Scorpion just dropped another question. Any of the characters draw inspiration from real wrestlers or other media?
kind of going back to that. So when we go back to Thorvid, he was basically based off of Eric and Ivar. Castro, I can't recall if I really had an inspiration for him. Matthew, I took inspiration from a Thugonomics Cena.
Okay.
The aesthetic, because I gave him like the black shorts, and all that. Nick was Ricochet, and plus, also during that time when I first made him, it was like wrestlers from like the very fun show of Lucha Underground. I missed that show really. Hikaru. It was besides her first name, which I really liked because I thank Hikaru Shida of AEW for that because she's a great wrestler. So I took her first name to add it to this call so that's really one inspiration for Hikaru. There was one other I used, I just can't remember her name at the moment.
Okay. Now,
Also, one last little thing I want to mention real quick. There is a running gag with Hikaru.
okay.
I say that because Chaz knows exactly what I'm about to mention. Rage, for some reason, keeps trying to come up with a fucking conspiracy that Hikaru and Chaz are somehow actually married.
That's not the only running gag. The other running gag is Rage desperately wants me to have her show up in his company of Starlight, the Joshi Fed he runs. But yeah, the other one is like he runs like this whole thing. Not just him, it's also our friend Nikita and Sophia Winters. They're like we know Chaz is the actual father of Yuki and Mizuna. Chaz is like, no, he's not.
That's why they're always trying to blow him up.
Sorry, I had to mention that one real quick. We can move on now.
Kyle, if Rage wasn't on his vacation and he was here, you know damn well he would do it.
He would have mentioned it already.
All right. So, who are we looking at here?
Okay, so this was the other one I told you about where I first made him on 2K20, but then since everyone basically moved back to 2K19, I remade him on that. This right here is honestly it's really become one of my favorites I've made. The third, and so far the last female protege of my main call From Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, currently living in Manchester, England, this is Soraya Garcia.
I actually really like that 2K20 attire.
As you can no doubt possibly tell from the first two images, the main inspiration that came for Soraya was Ty Conti of AEW.
I actually
What? I had no idea.
Oh, totally not. No, and it's not like she totally does not now have like the nickname of Miss Plot Armor or anything either.
So, this character obviously looks like she's had some history. Do you have any favorite storylines that you've ran with her?
Oh, favorite storylines. There's been a good couple of fun storylines I've had with Soraya. I would think, yeah, I guess this would go kind of recently biased, but not as that. So it was like near the end of 2K23, which you could see from the picture, which that was a pay-per-view attire I had for her, which is based off of Cammy White of Street Fighter.
Okay.
And I made that during a storyline I had with me, Kyle Rages, and Nikita's best friend, Sophia Winters. It was taking place right after LGF, which is the company that took place. It was after their Mania, because Soraya had won a multi-person match to earn a shot at the world title of Lions Den, which is the Valkyries title. And going into that storyline, that is when another group was formed, which I'll talk about going into the next one. But it was a very fun storyline because of some of the matches we did, some of the pro segments,
Okay.
and of course I did a major appearance change with her, which is a lead, which is that I instead of a blonde, I decided to make her a brunette.
Okay. So she went from a blonde to a brunette into 24.
Yep.
I think it fits the character well, too.
I've had a lot of compliments when I reveal that I turned her into a brunette when I finalized her appearance on 24.
The hairstyle also helps, too. I don't know how that one would look blonde. It looks better darker. Personally.
Are you talking about the 2K19 one?
No, the hairstyle in 24.
Oh yeah, no.
I've tried other colors and it looks so much better as a darker color than a lighter color. Alright, let's see. I have a feeling I know who this is. I have a very good feeling I know who this is. This must be the Tank Lady, and if I'm wrong, you can correct me.
Well, Beetle, you are wrong.
Damn, this is her sister, isn't it? God damn it.
This is Yuki's sister, Mizuna Kurosaki, who I will say second female protege of my main call, get that out of the way. And arguably the one that I did like a massive overhaul of her gimmick, of her looks, and I would say it turned out for the better that I did.
Okay.
Because, as you can tell on the 2K19 picture I put, the main inspiration I put in for her was based off of Jeff Hardy.
I could definitely see that, in the face.
Oh yeah. But then there was some frustrating points I was getting with the character and some places that like, you know what? I just gotta take a step back. Just gotta overhaul her, and that's when you get her 2K20 look there,
Okay.
which basically kind of stayed the same going into 23. But then 24, that's when I'll be like, all right, keep the jacket aesthetic, but we'll add purple to it, which I based off of Rina Mishima from Tekken 8, the purple and black.
Okay.
Do you want to explain another part of the story for why, like, Mizuna's like changed to a more Finn Balor like little thing?
Oh,
Well, I remember the story. I just want to see if you do.
I'm surprised you kind of remember, because there's some things I can't really remember.
Let me just summarize it as this. I think it was like an uploaded version of Mizuna apparently had the Finn Balor as like the
Right. Okay, yeah, I remember now. So, one of the main causes to really that planted the seeds of me shifting the personality and looks of Mizuna was there was that glitch on CC where for some reason in like the second attire slot it would just have a completely different like call or attire based off of for someone of the main roster. In this case, for her, it was Finn Balor.
That's hilarious. And I do remember that glitch. Because I had it on a few of my calls too. And I noticed it on a few of other people's calls too. I was like, wait, why is John Cena there? It's like, what the hell?
I think there was like one time. I think I remember like one of my calls actually had like another person's call as like the secondary thing.
Oh my!
If I remember correctly, I think it was like my MMA call. Carolyn Swift had freaking one of my friends' calls. APH's call Dominique Whitfield as the secondary attire. I'm like, okay.
You're like, this doesn't make any sense.
I remember something else actually.
What's up?
Mizuna was actually the first one I had made on 2K20 and debuted her on 2K20, but she was the first one I remade on 19, followed then by Soraya and then Hikaru. So those three are in a special category where I made them on 20, but I did not make on 19 beforehand.
Hey, that actually makes a lot of sense. I mean, I had one that I made in 20, and then I brought her back in 22. So I didn't remake her in 19 because I got lazy. I was mad at 20, so I didn't remake her. And then I remade her in 22 and gave her a new name. But I'll let you guys try and figure that one out. Anyway,
It did the same thing.
yeah, Christina Luther.
Yep.
Screw it. I'll tell you guys mine. Mine was Sue Kobayashi. I made her in
Technically, say her original name is just a certain post stream.
Yeah. Her original name, Anita, and I'm not going to say her last name, but yep. Her middle name was P, alright? That's all I'm going to say. And maybe her last name might have been Ness, but anyway.
Just put it together there, Chaz. You'll figure it out.
Yep. That was Christina Luther's first name.
Her original name before I said, wow, her moveset it actually is pretty damn good. I might as well actually use her.
Her name's gotta go though. Mine was Sue Kobayashi. I made her originally to look like Shuri from Stardom. and then I've evolved the character over time.
Nice.
All right. Up next,
Now, Beetle. This is the one with the tank.
the tank lady.
Yes.
I'm gonna go hide now. although, and Kyle, don't yell at me. Why is she dressed like Akira in 24?
Oh,
What?
fucking hell.
Okay. Well, now, Beetle, you're gonna get the tank.
I would say, and here's the thing also, it's funny you mentioned that, because at one point, these two actually were fighting it out at one point, when Yuki was the leader of Bullet Club. Do you want to explain that story there, CHAZ?
No, okay, yeah, I'll get to that story. But yeah, so what we have here is the first female player who I originally made. Here's the thing: there was like 2 different games that I had made her on prior. Her first iteration was a very rough draft on 2K18. I had a rough draft her on 2K18, but I never really used her. Going into 2K19, though, I had another rough draft where, for some reason, I gave her blue hair.
Okay.
That I call that the blue hair Yuki days. We do not talk about the blue hair Yuki days.
We don't talk about the blue hair days.
Anyone tries to talk about it, they meet a tank or a very angry red panda.
So about those blonde hair days.
Well, she's never been a blonde, so.
Okay, good. I'm not gonna get the tank then.
But I will say, when I fully was happy with how she looked and her moves and all of her presentation, we come to the 2K20 pick, which it's a mixture.
Okay.
Her 2K20, she came in as a face, and it was a mixture of face Io Shirai and face Hikaru Shida.
Okay.
But slowly continuing down the 2K20 cycle, I changed it all up where I kind of took a gamble, and I turned her. I wouldn't say like a full-on heel, kind of a tweener at best, I would say. And that was mainly on because at that point, that's when Io Shirai had turned heel, so that's when she had like the top, the pants, and all that. I'm like, I really like that aesthetic. I'm going to give that to Yuki. But as the games go on, though, going into 2K22, of course, I will say I remade her on 2K19 as well when we moved back to that game. With that inspiration was mainly based on Utami Hayashida of Stardom.
Okay.
But then going into 2K22, that's when it kind of drastically changed. At times I still use Utami, Io, not a lot of Hikaru, because granted, the main inspiration and kind of like gifts I use for Yuki is the woman who is on her way to WWE very, very soon, and that is the Julia formerly of Stardom and formerly now of Marigold.
Oh, okay.
Because her 2K20 look, I based off of kind of a rough, based off of a look she had. The 23 is where you can see her and Mizuna became the first GTT women's tag team champions. I believe it's called the Gladiatrix title.
Gladiatrix. Yeah, Gladiatrix.
Yeah. And those two, their tag attires are based off of Mafia Bella, which was the tag team of Julia and Thekla. And going into 24, I continued the Julia vibe with her current look there.
Okay.
Which with Julia coming in coming in next year in January, I'm assuming for 25 Julia may be DLC. So that's just my current.
Honestly, roughly, I could see Julia and Stephanie being DLC for 25.
That would be amazing.
I already know that the minute that if that actually happens, CHAZ is going to basically just drop Julia in as just Yuki's moveset right from the get go. Like there is no changes.
Oh no shit! Like I would like work with Yuki's attire from Julia parts. Same way I forgot to mention this because Mizuno's current like inspiration besides like what I've kind of been having Mizuno basically act as now is basically kind of like damage control. Kairi saying when she first came in, you know.
Okay. Okay. I can see that. Okay. So, you played this character a lot in people's chats and whatnot, and
Yeah, and which brings us to that story Kyle was referring to before, where her and Akira kind of got into a fight because it was kind of an interesting because it wasn't like your regular call fed, like it wasn't on a 2K game. It was on the on Fire Pro.
interesting.
Yeah. So what was happening was
Not the weirdest place I've seen a call fed in.
yeah. Going into they were having a Queen of the Ring tournament. Akira was a part of it, but the owner of that pulls me and Kyle to the side, be like, "Hey, how about we run a storyline where Akira basically gets taken out, Yuki takes her place, basically spinning the story that she's gonna fight for Akira's honor, but then it was revealed the person who attacked Akira all along was Yuki, and then we had spun that to where then Yuki becomes the leader of that company's like Bullet Club.
Okay. So is
So
oh, go on.
I was gonna say so basically in the career of Yuki Kurosaki at one point she became leader of Bullet Club.
Now, is that what led to the tank lady gimmick, or did she have that beforehand?
No, the whole tank thing basically came about is it's a funny joke because if Rage is here we could thank him because it all started with Rage because it's another running joke in the friend group is that Rage and Yuki are just arch nemesis. No matter what, they're just gonna hate each other because it all started when it was the first time Shotzi had used her tank on someone where she ran over the ankle of Robert Stone on a segment of NXT.
Damn.
And I do have this one picture where me and Rage basically titled it "The Day Hell Will Freeze Over," and it's the one part of the Gallus Tag entrance on 24 where the two face each other and shake hands.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That is definitely hell freezing over from what I've heard.
There's another version of Hell Freezing Over, but we're not going to get into that one yet.
God damn. Alright, well, let's just tab over to the next photo and see what we come up with. Ooh, alright. This guy looks very interesting. I didn't know you had the Joker on your show. Sorry. I've gotta try and troll the troll. Anyway.
No, you're fine. No, you're fine because there is a little bit of story to this when he first debuted for a Twitter company. So just like when it came to Nick Matthew Castro, when it comes to Wicked J right here, I first officially made all three of them on 2K16.
Okay.
Basically the rest, the 1 year that I just did nothing PvP, I just did the wrestling game on my own terms. I did my own universe modes, made who I wanted, and all that good stuff. Um, going, I remember who I mainly based him off of, especially when it comes to the name Wicked J. I remember just going through like wrestling stuff, and I come across this one backyard wrestling place. I forget the name of it, but one of their wrestlers who was running like a Joker style gimmick was named Wicked J, and unfortunately, tragically too, that gentleman he died in like a from what I remember, he died in like a trash truck accident.
Damn.
And where it's like where he got caught in like it was like one of the trash trucks where the back of it like you know it has like the closing thing and I guess squeezes or something.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Ooh.
shit.
I can't remember the exact details of how it happened, but that was the accident. So, but of course, I didn't know that when I first made the call. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna continue using the name because one, I'm not gonna make any really like logos out of it. I'm not really gonna just. If people ask where I came up with the name Wicked J, I'm gonna always refer to him.
Yeah,
And
I can see that.
and I used him a bit in PvP leagues, just kind of like with like some old buddies of mine on the Xbox side. They were into like the hardcore death matches, so that's where he basically shined, was in that division there.
Okay.
Going into 2K20, he gets signed like really majority of my call. I really, even though there's at times where there's one place I really have to thank for really putting me, keeping me around on the Twitter side of call, and that's GTT, because the last one we're about to see, he debuted there, Wicked J debuted there, Yuki debuted there, so on and so forth. And when he first debuted, John and his commentary partner, I believe it was Brock at the time,
Mm-hmm.
both of them were talking. It's like, it's kind of, yeah, he's kind of based on the Joker. Which Joker do you think he's part of? It's like, he had the Joaquin Phoenix Joker mentioned, but that was basically not it. When you look at that first look, that is just Heath Ledger Joker energy right there.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see it.
Moving. What's that?
I think my favorite is probably the 23 attire up top. With the jacket and the face paint that's kind of fading away. Where he's like, you can't. It looks really cool.
Oh yeah, so going down the games now, I'm like, okay. Wicked J's been getting around. He's getting his name talked about and all that. But like, I just gotta really just get him to stick out there. I don't want it just to like people are referring to him as like, oh, it's the Joker call. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay. So when it came to, I started really, his main inspiration nowadays is based off of the TNA wrestler Crazy Steve. So that face paint beetle you pointed out in the top right picture, the 23 one, that is actually an image I found thanks to the SmackDown Hotel of Crazy Steve's face paint.
Okay.
And I've continued to use that to 24. You can see like a part of it under the mask that he has, but there was other attires that I'd be like, you know what, let's move away from that. Let's try something different. Case in point, arguably one of my favorite attires I ever made for him on 23 is kind of more of like the darker side of him, where he just lets go. He lets go of. He's not trying to psychologically torture whoever he's in a feud with.
Right.
Yeah, because fun fact, I surprised a lot of people with it. Considering how he plays his character, a lot of people are shocked to find out that he actually has a master's degree in psychology.
That makes sense, actually.
Yep.
Joker is one of like the most psychological villains of the entire DC universe. I know that he has a lot of fun, but I mean he's way more of a psychological villain than he is a comedy villain.
Okay, you know what?
Joker ain't psychological. He's freaking just chaos.
Organized
As
chaos.
I was about to say,
Organized
I have a
chaos,
question.
but
I have a question for you
He ain't
guys.
even organized chaos. It's just chaos.
What's that, Kyle?
My question: who would you say is Wicked J's Batman, essentially, if he's the Joker?
ooh.
Oh, well, there's only really one person I can think of. In the sense, arguably, I would probably say that would be you, Kyle, as Kyle Young.
Yeah, because those two had quite a bit of a feud over on GTT.
Yeah. And you basically have your Robins, too, because he's gone into feuds with, say, Jason Oliver as one Robin. Then, as for fun, even though he's not really your call, he's some other call, we're just going to put him as a Robin as well, Aiden Robinson. You've teamed. I know Jason and Aiden teamed once, so that's where I'm getting.
They teamed once, and then also, well, Aiden's been a tag team partner of Leon Young over in a different company, so I'm going to count it.
I could see this Wicked J fellow being a probably good ally of a certain vegan bodybuilding Viking on my show. Just saying. Joker and Skeletor working together? Yeah, I could see that.
If let's say you guys knew me beforehand and I first made all 4 of the male proteges, and if you asked me which one I would see going the furthest, like someone like become like out of all my cause, including my main, Wicked J is really at the top of like their favorites that I play and create on the games, and he has the fucking track record throughout companies too, because I have his account pulled up on my phone, right? Fucking a 7-time world champion, 6-time mid-card champion, and so far just a 1-time tag team champion.
Well, and as much as he has a Joker look, he's got a very unique, like the way that you've done it, it's unique. It's not your typical Joker type call. You've added your own spice to it, and you've added extra story to it. So he doesn't exactly look like a generic Joker call. And
he also does have his Harley. You've met her, you saw her, and you asked questions about her when you had Rage on the podcast, and that is Misfortune.
Oh, freaking hell. Good lord. His Harley is... Oh, God damn. Never mind. Oh.
What was that, Beetle? What was that?
Who's his Harley? He said Misfortune. I'm
I was about to say, Beetle, you better be careful now. There is also a running joke with Jay.
I don't need any more heat than I already have from.
You don't need the crowbar.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm gonna watch what I say.
Please give him more heat. Please give him more heat.
Shut the front door.
Be wary. Be wary if you notice a crowbar missing from somewhere.
Hey, okay. To make sure everything's in its place. Anyway, hey. No, but you've done a good job.
Beetle, I think a crowbar is missing.
God damn it. You've done a good job making him unique and not as Joker-esque as you probably could have, you know? And I like that. I like how original he is, and it's probably why he's gone so far.
Well, I've also done other things with him. Like I should have added the other two, but I just didn't really think about it. Just two pay-per-views tires I've made, and I've done, and I've kind of planned to do again. It'll be a third time I'm doing a certain character, but there was two separate times where I did the Batman Who Laughs look for him.
Ooh, okay.
And then there was two.
Doing Batman Who Laughs style stuff.
And two other times, which a third is planned. I just don't know when I'm gonna put it on him to send to a company to use. But the third one is gonna be based off of Dobby from My Hero Academia.
Ooh.
And that, I would say, besides wrestling, that is another inspiration I took into the psyche, the mannerisms of Jay. He can be calm and collective, but then at like a flip of a switch, he can just go kind of berserk, like Dobby has basically become in My Hero because of how his family is. And yeah, just another thing, Jay was orphaned. A little into his backstory, he was orphaned as a kid, even though he's from Scarsdale, New York, kind of like a blue collar part of New York. He did not have like the best of childhoods.
Okay. So he had a rough upbringing. He's been scarred for life, essentially, from his childhood.
He basically got into trouble, which it did kind of lead to him being put into kind of a psychiatric ward to see if he had any mental illnesses, which he never does. It's just because he never had like his parents to really raise him. He never had that figure, the parenting figures that he needed. He just acted out until he shapened up because he met my main call is connected to really all my side calls that I have made, which I'll get into soon. But because of that, he straightened up. He got into the wrestling business. He's basically made it his living. Here's another little fun fact. Only few people know what I actually have as his first name. It was only recently, near the end of 2K23, where I decided to be like, okay, I'm gonna put down what Wicked J's actual first name is, what the J actually stands for. And I believe I've only told 3 people, maybe just 2. And those people it goes as Jaquita, it goes as Rick. I believe I told our friend Sophia, aka Aaron Miller, about it. Those are the only 3. Even Kyle doesn't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I'm really in the dark about this one, so don't bother asking me.
Come back. God damn it.
God damn it, Beetle. Stop fucking up over there.
Yep.
Nah.
Beetle botch. I was getting ready to switch to the next
Beetle, stop
person.
fucking up, damn it!
Yes.
I'm trying to time it so I could switch to the next person who I'm
The
pretty
one-
sure we all know we're talking to.
The one at the top of the mountain. The
Yes.
one that's connected.
Well, you're failing miserably.
Shut up, Odds. Anyway, to the
Smart
top.
ass.
To the top of the mountain, the smartass himself.
Yep.
The man we're talking to.
It's me!
Tell us about CHAZ.
Okay, so basically CHAZ was of course like the first custom wrestler I ever made in a video game, like, and of course different iterations, of course, but his final look is what you would see. I didn't really have a good 2K15 picture of him because I didn't do like the screenshots back then. I took it off of my phone.
Ooh, fun times.
But yeah, so 2K15 is where his official debut going into Call is basically marked. The PvP side of PlayStation on 2K15, which didn't really do a lot of because it was near the end of the line. So when it came to 2K16, I'd be like, well, since I didn't really do much, it kind of left a kind of a bad taste in my mouth of the Call community. So I kind of just, well, if people laugh, like, well, during that period, he suffered like a severe right knee injury that kept him out for like a full year.
Okay.
And that's what I did. That's part of the backstory. During that year, he had that knee injury that kept him out of action, which actually leads to him going over to Japan to have like surgery for the knee, and where he basically rehabilitates it. That's when he gets connected with Hikaru, as then when he's like getting back into the style of the ring, that's when he faces off against the Yakuza boss, blah, all that good stuff. Then he goes back to America, and that's where the official from 2K17 to now, that has been his full-fledged career.
Okay.
From going from 2K so 2K17 to 2K18 and a bit of 2K19, that was the PvP era. Cut 2K19 in half, because near the end of 2K19, that's when I started getting into the Twitter leagues. The first one I ever got into as CHAZ was this one called VPW. That's when he got into that's when also basically got noticed to get into GTT. And then basically from all that, I basically retired from the PvP side of Call. And I've just been mainly doing like the Twitter, Discord feds.
Okay. So,
Of course, what's that?
So from the simulation side of things, do you have a favorite? Because I know that I could say what are your favorite feuds, but I'm gonna be a little harder on this question. Do you have a favorite feud if you had to pick one? Like, do you have a favorite like feud or rival for CHAZ throughout his years in the simulation federations?
That is kind of difficult, considering I've done a lot of feuds and storylines. So, and gonna be fair, I'm not gonna go and be like, oh, it's Kyle again, because they did have like a best of 7 series in a company called WPW that's ran by our buddy Angel Perkins Harris. To be fair, I'm not gonna say that definitive answer.
Okay.
But one feud I would say that we haven't heard about. This is kinda I really gotta dig into the fucking memory banks for this one.
There is one I could think off the top of my head, but I think you probably don't necessarily like it because of how it ended.
What's that?
I'll give you the hint. Sub-Zero versus Scorpion.
Okay, yeah. So, okay, that was a pretty fun feud. That was in GTT, which was basically a saga feud between me and a former Call creator who left the community, Brad Graves. How it started was I won the GTT Tournament of Power, and going into their Mania pay-per-view Final Destination, Brad won the world title at basically the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view at Season of the Abyss, I believe that's the name.
Think so?
Can't really remember, but yeah. So that's where the first chapter basically got written. Me versus him at Mania. Of course, he defeated me there, but but as the story continued, he picked me to face each other again at the next pay per view. Of course, that one ended how CHAZ won the Warlords title. There was Brad was also going to branch off real quick, going into a small feud with the owner, good old Johnny Baker himself. Small feud there because during 2K20, there was always that one glitch. If you like change your moveset a bit, to get rid of a banned move, for some reason it still saved where that banned move was placed.
Okay.
So his call during the match, his call hit CHAZ with that banned move. So to make a story out of it, John basically comes out, restarts the match, throws Brad back in. I hit my finisher on Brad. That's the 3 count. I become new Warlord. So during the next cycle, Brad is facing him. I'm facing pretty much one of the toughest CHAZ and kind of really protected ones too, which is Heim, aka the World Breaker of GTT. And fun fact, that was the first time I ever used a Kakashi attire because of running joke because of how CHAZ looked for the longest time because of the hair and the mask. Was like, oh my gosh, it's Kakashi. But it was said. So I was defending my title against the World Breaker there. The winner would face Brad because he had a rematch for the title at Vengeance. I can't really remember the name of that pay-per-view, but but the theme of that pay-per-view going into it was Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
And me and Brad, we talked about it. It's like, okay, so you come out as Scorpion, I'll come out as Sub-Zero. That sound good? It's like, yeah, let's do that. So that is what we did. And the match was going great. It was a very back and forth match because one thing or not, on 2K20, if you had like the sliders just right, you could have like the AIs give you really banger matches.
Oh, this is true. This is very true. If you had your sliders
But
right.
how it ended, as Kyle alluded to, really just pissed me off. Because, and of course, I've made up with him. He's a very cool guy. His call really just takes main inspiration from the Bray Wyatt's Fiend.
Okay.
And so he had the moniker of being GTT's Psychotic Fiend. But he never came to me about this, and I apologize to John because I kind of yelled at him for it too because I was very mad. What happened was, so during said match, CHAZ was set to hit his finisher, but then the lights would cut out. You would hear kind of like the Bray Wyatt laugh, but then the lights come back on. The next thing you know, Brad is hitting CHAZ with his finisher, and CHAZ gets pinned, losing his title. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? I basically got fucked out of the title because, and this is like I said, water under bridge now, but because John thought I was okay with doing the spot, but the thing is, I had no fucking idea that spot was gonna. I never okayed the spot. I never even knew it was gonna fucking happen. And that just really ended. So great fun feud, but also kind of had a shitty ending.
Kind of a good example then of figuring out what the people in your Fed or how they want to know what's going on. Pretty much, right? Because I have a feeling that you're one of those people who wants to know what's going to happen so that way you can expect it. Like if I were gonna grab one of your characters and then let's say do something like that, you'd want me to tell you ahead of time and say, "Hey, here's a little heads up." Right?
I'm more with the fact that I'd be like, hey, if there's something planned, but you want to have something be surprised, be like, okay, hey, we have this spot planned. We're bringing someone in for this feud, but we're not going to tell you who it is. It's going to be a surprise. I'll be like, okay, yeah, cool. If you give me notice ahead of time, be like, hey, you're not going to win this match, storyline purpose, I'm cool with it. That's basically all it is. Like, I'll be cool with it then, because I'm like, okay, I'm not winning this match. At that point, I just want my call to look strong in the losing match or whatever.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. So
I'm going.
Oh, go on.
What's that, Peter?
No, go on. It's fine.
Oh no, I was gonna say but that's pretty much it. Just you communicate with me about what's going on in the story. I'll still be on board. I'll be happy because you're communicating with me. I basically know some things that are happening, except for, like, say, you want to keep certain things a surprise.
Yeah. And that's something that I try to remember to ask people, which is, do you want to be notified when something's happening or not? Like, do you want to be surprised by what happens on the screen, or do you like knowing ahead of time, hey, I'm doing something with this character and they're gonna lose this belt or they're gonna lose this match because of XYZ? Usually I just leave it to championships, where it's like, if it's a non-title match, it doesn't really matter whether you win or lose to me. I try to plan everything out ahead of time and, like, give everybody a title shot at some point. So whether they win or lose during the rest of the week, I really don't care. It's like, if I have them slotted for a title match, they could have lost 3 matches in a row and still get that title match because that's when they were supposed to fight for it.
Yeah.
No. Oh, go on.
No, I was going, ow. Because I had a call.
Okay. So, I'm going to kind of get away from the cost side of this and go more into the GM mode side of this, because we're going to have you on the GM mode streams coming up soon. That's like, I don't know, they're nearing WrestleMania. So they'll have WrestleMania, they'll have one more season, and then you'll be joining us as an actual player in the GM modes. And you've got a lot of experience in GM
I
modes.
guarantee we'll probably be out by then.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of characters to work with.
Yep. So let's actually move this conversation to GM modes a little bit. What's kind of your experience with GM mode?
Before I answer that question, so Kyle can attest to this, but back to CHAZ real quick. But
okay,
for the longest time, people were like, take off the mask, and I was always like, no, I'm not gonna do it. Or I would purposely delete the mask off of the call, but I would always make sure I had a certain entrance to where I maneuver the camera to where it only showed like a glimpse, like just a little bit, like you would see like the beard he has. Kyle got pissed. A whole bunch of people were just like, show us your fucking face!
It's still a gag nowadays with your real face!
Yeah, it's still a gag now because no one, except for one person, which is Aaron, because I accidentally fell out of my hands and the camera pointed to my face. He was the only one around to see it.
I think I might have been there too, but I don't remember.
You said you caught a glimpse of like my hair. That was it. What you saw, but I did take the big leap with CHAZ because I'm like, you know what? I think it's actually time. 23 comes around. I've been teasing it. People were starting to doubt. I was like, there's no fucking way he's actually gonna have CHAZ without the mask. There's just like no way.
That was really like a big fucking prank.
Yeah, Kyle was one of the doubters. He's like, it's like, CHAZ, this is just gonna be a prank, isn't it? It's like, oh well, you'll just see. And what I purposely did I did this off of a TikTok was I did a countdown with like previous pictures of CHAZ going 10, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Screen goes black. Then it pops up to the SummerSlam arena of 2K23. The song I had at the time, I believe, was Star Set, Waiting on the Sky to Change. And songs playing, I gave him the Cody Vader entrance too. So people were just waiting. And as soon as they saw like the tops of it, the top of the white hair showing, they're like, okay. And then boom, CHAZ without a mask. People just freaked the fuck out. But yeah, now back to the GMO.
Well, hang on. What was your favorite moment of that? The reactions from the fans. Like, did anybody have or were there any reactions that are memorable to you when you did that?
There is a lot of fun reactions. See if I can find one. They sent it to someone to prove that I did it. Where the fuck is it? No, not there.
What the?
Oh, well, he tries to find it.
I was gonna say, this is the silent portion of the stream, guys.
This is the part of the stream where we start to interview a mime.
Yeah. Sign language. It's great. I'm just kidding. Don't yell at me, I swear. Don't yell at me.
Don't kick me out! Don't kick me out!
No. No. We're moving on from this. Here we go. Do your original characters ever interact or exist with real-life talent? I personally run WWE's two main shows, Raw and SmackDown, plus WCW on its own entity. Therefore, all of my characters mix. For me, really only Demolition and Demolition, Delvin, and Kitty were the only ones who ever interacted with the main roster. Everybody else kind of is in the Call universe. The main idea was that... Oh, and War Dragon, too. War Dragon was a career mode call. Uh-oh. Who dropped?
Okay, I think CHAZ probably got a call or something.
Okay.
He did warn us.
He did tell us he might get a call on the drop. So we'll hang on for a little bit. We'll answer some questions from the chat. Why not? We'll have...
Okay. I'll throw my answer into the ring. The only one I think would technically count for like interacting with the main roster would have been probably Kyle, well, maybe Akira if you want to count the My Rise stuff. Also Max too, because I had Maxes in the 2K19 my career. But that's about it. Pretty much anybody that interacted with the main roster was in the My Rise or My Career or My Player or whatever the fuck they want to call it.
Man, I guess if that's the case, and I can't believe I'm saying this, that one jackass Kelly Mavericks has had some interactions with the main roster. Welcome back.
Okay, to answer your question about some of the best reactions, one of them being is from mentioned him before, is Aiden Robinson, because he was really one of the ones to really try to go at me to take off the mask. Because all the way back in freaking October 31st of 2022, he sends me a DM being like, he's like, how many likes to remove the mask? I sent him the Batman chin stroking gift, and I'm like, I could be a dick and say 1K.
Damn.
Then he's like, no. Then I was like, make you create 2 posts with the goal of getting 500 likes for both, which would equal 1K. He's like, wow. But then I
The Austin Powers gift, $1 million.
1 million likes.
But then to February 11th, that's when I posted the first kind of teaser of me taking off the mask, and this is funny because there's 3 reactions I liked from it. First was Rage, where he quote tweeted saying, "Can't wait for that Rickroll come 2K23." Kyle, I'll believe it when I see it, smartass. The third one is from someone who commented, and honestly, she's one of the best people I've done stuff with in Call, Eden. She sends a roll eyes gif of a blonde drinking some wine.
Damn.
Aiden's reaction though in DMs, he's like, this is in all caps by the way. He's like, finally, after all this time, it's happening. Ah! And then the fateful day came, the perfect day for it to happen. On 3/16, what?
Damn.
316.
Yeah. On March 15th, that is when I made the official post where the video I made on TikTok where I did the countdown and the reveal. Some of the funny replies is from there's this one who posted a gif going, "Oh no, ... he's really hot."
God damn.
A good all around great person as well. Kyle knows them. Jay Knight. They put hot, which is spelled HAWT. Going in the quote tweets, you get going back to Eden. She just puts ah.
God damn.
You got Kyle over here saying the mad lad's actually gone and done it. Damn, okay, CHAZ, I see you.
That's a very Kyle response.
It is.
This one also got me just cracking up too. It's from Rage's one of Rage's calls, Hannah Santos. He puts as her all caps too. Why the fuck as TF are you so hot, sir?
God damn.
And of course, I have to save it as I have to save the best for last, which was Aiden, all caps as well. You finally did it, bro. This is going to go down in fucking history.
God damn.
Of course, there's been another running joke I've been kind of running and be like, well, I think it's time for me to put the mask back on.
And you got people going, no!
Oh, some of the reactions I get is that. So, but okay, now back to the GM mode. What was your question again, Beetle?
Just tell us a little bit about your experience with it. Do you have any favorite GM modes? Like if you were to pick this is actually a good one. If you were to pick your favorite GM mode, like your favorite iteration of it that you've played by experience, what would it be?
By experience, I honestly would say I would have to really go with the first iteration, the classic, which was SVR 2006.
Okay.
Because really you could really, a lot of people can thank that one, but also '07's GM mode for having them fall in love with GM mode.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I will say there's a lot of things I don't really like about the 2K's GM mode, but it's fun. But at times it gets a bit like where you're not really having that fun. You're really stressing about what you can do on a show.
Well,
We can all testify to that.
yeah, and you have a lot less control in the newer ones than you did in the old ones. And
Yeah, you do. Because
go on.
like, okay, I get the whole
Controller gets, especially when your controller gets drunk.
I have no idea what you're talking about. This controller has never been drunk on a GM mode. That's a total lie, but yeah.
Because I will say, I don't mind the concepts where it's like, hey, spend some money to get some better arena, better like production, media, backstage crew, and all that. I don't mind that.
That part I actually like. The part that I don't like is the fucking card game. I cannot stand that damn thing. That I have to get a power card in order to do X, Y, or Z. I miss. I think it was '07 or was it '08 when they brought in those the promos and the workouts and all that stuff on your calendar, where you had 5 days to work with, and you had to make sure that you used all 5. So one day was, I'm going to let this person work out this day. I'm going to have this person do TV this day. I'm going to have this person do this. And then we have the show. So it's like you got to look at their stamina too. Certain things you have them do during the week could affect their stamina on the show. So do you have them do that? Or do you have them actually on your show?
Yeah, because I will say the whole power card system is hit or miss with me.
Yeah. I'm
Especially if the RN Jesus is on your side.
Yeah, that's what I'm not a fan of. The fact that you have to hope that you get the luck of the draw and get the right cards. I don't like the randomness of that because it takes away the skill in trying to play the game. With the old GM modes, the skill was how can you manage your people correctly and make sure they're being utilized.
Yeah. And another thing I like about it too is you didn't have to wait till after a pay-per-view to make trades. If you wanted to try to get someone, you can go to another show and be like, hey, let's talk a trade.
Exactly.
Yeah, if we were playing the old GM mode, you guys could be doing frickin' trade deadlines every single time, where it's like, hey, let's try. Hey, buddy, I really want CM Punk. What do I gotta do to give him to you this week? Come on, odds. What do I gotta do?
But, yeah, no. There's a lot of things 2K course, that's just fucking in general with them. They can approve pawn.
Body morphing. Whoops. Going on tangents now.
Whoops. Did I say that out loud?
Whoopsies. Body morphing.
They didn't improve on GM mode. They just tried to mainstream it.
Which
They turned it into
Really?
an app game. Sorry, go on.
Like I said, mainstream it.
pretty much mainstream, as he was saying.
Do you have any main roster talent, speaking wise, if you could pick your top 5 for a GM mode, who would your top 5 main roster talent be on your roster? And this is for all 3 of you. Top 5.
Based off
Are we
of,
allowed? Oh wait.
Top 5 in-game characters from 24 for a GM mode.
We'll let the guest go first. So, CHAZ.
okay, top 5 to based around basically who I would draft in my top 5.
Mm-hmm.
I would go, if they're available on the board, I would go LA Knight.
Oh.
I'm just to be fair here, I'm just going to go with the in-game no DLC characters right now. So yeah, LA Knight, yeah. Gotta get the legend with Stone Cold.
Okay.
Julius!
Love that.
Julius!
Julius, why did you leave me? Next one would be the Cody of the Roads.
Okay.
Really round out, like. Well, actually, no. That's basically 3 faces I just did. So let me take out Cody so I can put in a heel, which that heel would be Finn Balor.
Okay.
And then to start the women's division right, I would get Io Sky with the lady that I totally 100% accidentally gave 50K to when I took over Zelina Vega. Totally did not do that on purpose. Totally.
Damn.
Totally was not getting back at him for wasting 10K on fucking Boston Connors.
God damn.
Totally not.
Absolutely. There's no revenge there whatsoever.
Yes.
Not one
revenge
ounce
at
of
all.
revenge. No. This man was innocent. Alright.
Yeah, revenge. That's why Beetle doesn't want to come back into the GM mode, because he knows everyone will be going after his ass.
That and I like being the controller. Anyway. You know what? Let's go with odds next. Odds. Who are your top 5?
Depends on what brand I chose.
I am not surprised. I am not surprised at all. At all. One second, Scorpion. That Gigi and Chelsea are on your top 5.
Alright. Okay, for the sake of argument, just so that we can speed this along, odds, let's say it was Raw.
then the top five would round off with at least two women and 3 men.
Okay.
But who would they be? Well, that's the whole point of the question.
Yeah, the question is, who are they? Not just generic. I have this combination of characters as my top 5.
Just trying to piss people off. Just trying to piss people off. It's very easy to do so.
Like, I've been a troll and not answered the question.
If they were on the list, it'd be Punk,
He's on the list, so that's fine.
Breaker, Gunther, and then Rhea and Cora Jade.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
If Punk wasn't on the list, I'd instantly find him, just like I did before, and instantly give him a lifelong contract.
Goddamn.
Just so I can hear that line again. Rage, we're gonna kill him. Rage, we're gonna kill him.
Okay, so I have a question before I answer the question myself.
Uh-oh.
Are we counting the DLC like in general, like from the ones we also are going to be seeing coming up, like the International Storage Pack, etc.?
Whatever is currently available.
Well, when we do the third season, if it's when I think and all the DLCs are going to be out, yeah, pretty much everybody's going to be there.
But whatever's currently available right now, if you could pick your top 5.
If I pick my top 5 right now?
Yep.
Okay, we're going to go CM Punk, like Odd said. This is I'm probably about to get a predictable fucking, but I don't fucking care. I love this person. Asuka.
I could hear someone laughing. He's like, her.
I probably would say then for the legend pick, I'd say Booker T. Actually.
Okay.
Probably the second female pick would probably be. Let me think about that for a second. So I'm trying to also be different, like from you guys.
It's not about being different. It's about picking your top 5. So.
Actually, nah. I'll just say the second female pick, Roxanne Perez, and then to round up the top 5 would probably be. I'm trying to think actually.
Man, I got
Punk,
one.
Okay, so we got Punk, Asuka, Booker T, Roxanne, and you know what? Because he was kind of a ringer up in, I say kind of a ringer, but also he's kind of one of my most dominant world champions over in NXT the first season.
Called it.
Ken Shamrock, yeah.
Yep. I was thinking Shamrock like a minute and a half ago.
Of course he was going to say
like,
Shamrock. That was the person that he had that famous line with right after I picked him. ECW picks Ken Shamrock.
Bitch.
Yeah, he turned it to E.
I turned it to EOI for 2 seconds.
Well, speaking of turning the tables on people, CHAZ, I'm going to turn the tables on you now.
Oh,
you get to ask each of us a question.
Ask the questions, eh? Ask the questions.
Yep.
Okay. Well, when it comes to you, Sir Beetle.
Okay.
If you could, like, I know Rage isn't here, but I'm gonna still ask this. If you could pick who you think is going to come out the winner of season 1 of the GM mode. Just like out of odds, Kyle and Rage. Who do you think would come out as the winner? Who is your kind of like dark horse pick?
Because I've kind of seen him in action and I've kind of seen what he's been able to do so far and how he played in season 1. If I'm going with a dark horse, I think it might end up being Kyle, because Kyle played the game fantastically in season 1.
The difference was, and now in season 2, he got a little helping hand because of a drunk.
Sorry, but he played the game very well in season 1. He let Odds and myself tear each other apart.
Let them fight.
Pretty much.
And I basically stepped on the gas and took off until you guys basically were just like, yeah, we need to start turning our attention against him now.
Again, that was planned. We were trying to see if we could actually knock somebody out of the game.
But right now, as it sits, I could honestly see Odds going all the way. He's got more money than both Kyle and Rage combined. He's played his game extremely well. Played the long game, by the way. I think he's in the lead now. So I honestly think
that's no thanks to you, drunkie.
Sorry, but I think Odds could go all the way. I think he'll end up winning season 1. Season 2 is a crapshoot, and it's going to be interesting because what we're allowing Kyle to do right now is something that we're going to allow the guys to do all through season 2, which is whoever's in last gets to attack the 2 others for 5 weeks. You get 5 weeks of it, but hit both men equally, because if you don't, guess what? They get to steal one of your characters.
Hey, you have no
protection.
You have no way to stop it.
Yep.
And it's also free of charge.
Yep, free of charge.
You have to play it. You have to play it smart if you want to attack them or not. Okay, next, we'll go over here to the.
By the way, those will also be the rules when season 3 starts.
Yep, season 3. It's going to be that way the entire season. So, the second the game starts, whoever's in last at the end of the first pay-per-view gets those 2 power-ups.
Gotcha. Alright, next we go to the odds. What's the question I was going to ask? Okay. If I know you're not really the biggest fan of AEW, but if you could pick one person from AEW that you would sign to say your ECW brand, who would that be?
Easy, Powerhouse Hobbs.
That's a very good one.
That is a very good answer.
There's also a little biasness, but because Powerhouse Hobbs is part of the boys.
Why Hobbs?
Because he's misused and has every ability in the freaking world to be one of the biggest stars in the wrestling business.
Honestly, I feel that because that is I've talked to Kyle about this. That is honestly how I feel currently with Hook, because I want more for him. I want him to finally get out of the whole FTW title. I get what it means to him because who his father is.
And he's going to once his contract expires.
I know that. Like I never really hope someone goes to another place. It's their career, it's their choice, whatever the fuck they do with it. But I would love to see him in WWE as part of NXT, then go up to the main roster. I feel like he would.
That's where he wants to go, is NXT. And once his contract expires, that's probably where he's going.
One could hope. But now we save the samurai for last.
Yeah.
The samurai.
See, damn!
Yeah, the man with the Jacksepticeye. Damn! The man. Okay. Kind of keep with the theme I've had going, where it's GM mode style questions. Instead of AEW, because I have like kind of a general idea who you would pick from there. From say TNA, Kyle.
Okay.
Who would you take from TNA and sign to your Raw? Not Raw. I keep on thinking you're fucking Raw. At
WCW.
times. WCW. Who would you take to sign to WCW?
You know what? I'm actually going to go for an interesting one. This is someone that just won the X Division Championship, and honestly, I think this guy got the fucking bum ass fucking luck in NXT because, well, and X decided to be fucking pay.
Yeah, we don't.
I would take Zachary Wentz.
I can see it.
The dude,
Yeah,
the dude could be a good hand, and also I wouldn't mind seeing him like try to run the United States Championship division.
Nah, you gotta think bigger. You gotta think, Zachary!
God
You're
damn.
my new tag team partner. Congratulations, son, you're a champion.
The other guy couldn't hang and he ran away.
He ran away from me.
I miss Julius.
Goddamn.
Does he have
Watch
damn much?
the next time we play the GM mode, just like I do a talent scout search and then Julius pops up again. I'm just like, oh, hi, motherfucker.
Oh, hey there.
Why, hello, I'm not drafting you anymore. You draft him back. You draft him back to put him against Stone Cold.
You left me, you son of a bitch.
No, I left because I was tired of you, you bastard.
Kyle's getting a hell of an enemy list in this GM mode. Freaking Julius, freaking Bronson Reed.
Oh my god, he grabs Julius and Bronson Reed, and they come in as the freaking God, what were they called? The Outsiders. NWO Logan for them. We're too cool for school. That's why we're not here. Oh. Anyway, I do know it's getting late for you guys because you're
It is.
all in the Midwest, and it is 11 p.m. over there. So, on that note, I think this is probably a decent stopping point. Chaz, we would like to thank you for coming in and talking with us today. Do you have any last minute things you'd like to say before we close out the show?
Oh, last minute things I had to say. All right. Whenever you guys get the chance, come by, support the Marshall University football team.
You do an amazing show on Twitch, by the way. Go ahead and shout that out. I meant to do that. Thank you for bringing that up. CHAZ has an amazing football stream that he does over on Twitch, where he calls the matches.
The Thundering Herd currently murdering every team that comes across them.
Yep.
It just shows that because of my coaching, part of Kyle's training as well, he's part of my training staff, that the Thundering Herd is ready to move to a different conference. Of course, I've been getting people's opinions about it. The first poll I had, people wanted them to go to the Big 12. This second poll I did only really got 2 votes, but they were both going to the Big 10. So I'm like, okay, ACC is basically off the table now. It comes down to either the Big 12 or the Big 10. I'm just like, which one? Of course, I still got a good bit to go through in this season, since I think I'm at the halfway. I'm getting to the halfway point.
Okay. Well, I'll say that
also.
Oh, go on.
I was like, also check out the St. Louis Shamrocks whenever he gets off his ass and streams that.
Well,
I know you're focusing on Marshall. I'm just saying, I miss the Shamrocks.
I know I know you miss them, and some others miss the Shamrocks. I do. I feel. I heard somewhere they were supposed to add like a creation suite to college football, where you don't have to go on a website to do the team builder. And honestly, I kind of wish that would come into play, because then I could make a college version of the Shamrocks.
And for those of you that have never seen what CHAZ does over on Twitch, I went ahead and left a link in both chats so you can go check it out. It is a lot of fun, actually. I've been enjoying watching the replays.
There's a good amount of wackiness, shenanigans when it comes to fucking EA Sports,
And you do a good job of finding it and having fun when the shenanigans happen. And it's an entertaining watch and an entertaining listen. So definitely go check CHAZ out. There are the links to his college football streams.
Woo, football. Which could be tomorrow at some point before I go to work.
Alrighty.
You're probably gonna be having that stream going while I'm at work. So.
Well, you'll have the playback to watch.
Yeah.
Of course, then on Sunday, I know I plan to do to stream 2 more games when I get off around 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
But with that being said, as always, I'm the one to end it here. Well, we would like to thank you all for being a part of the Let's Talk Call Shop podcast. Remember, this podcast is a bi-weekly podcast that happens every Sunday, but we may actually start doing it weekly. But more information on that as it develops.
Yep.
But with that being said, the shop is officially closed. Hope you all have enjoyed your stay. Now get out of here!
And we will see you all next time.
Bye.
See ya!
Oh wait, that's not the end screen. Where is it? Damn it, where is it? There we go. Yep, one good watch on the way out. Had to do it.